Okay, so here we are. Good enough garage. Maybe doing things a little bit better than good enough. Good enough would have been running this copper line just straight to the back and skipping all these joints, but we actually bent it to match the original pretty close. You can see it's not perfect. You can see right there we marked our lines because to get this thing snaked all the way through to the back here, can you see back here? To get it snaked all the way through the back here, we had to come up through here. But to do that, we had to push the line all the way forward. But that's not really possible when it's all connected through the frame rail here. So what we did is we snapped it out of the line, marked these lines, ran it below the truck, all the way out the front of the truck, so we could bring it back to this spot and have plenty of freedom. So we knew where it needed to be forward and back, but we didn't have to have it following through the frame rail, go film down that frame rail. So it didn't have to tuck all the way through there, which would have been just really hard to get it to go all the way through. So anyways, we've got two fittings on this. The fitting on the back goes into this hose, which goes to the T to the rear. Why don't you film over here? The fitting in the back goes to this piece here, which goes to the T that goes to the sides. So we're going to go ahead and run this mount for the bracket up in here. This will not be perfect because we don't have the nut that goes in the end of this. So we're just going to dry fit everything now, make sure it works, and then we'll fit it all up and bleed the brakes. So we just got to get this mount where it goes, which kind of helps us center both the lines that come together in the back here. Can you see what I'm doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Watch your eyes. Just snug that up there for now. Okay, so now you can see this stuff's really flexible. I haven't snapped it in, so I'm going to snap it in there. We'll bring it up here and snap it in here. It kind of got bent a little as we pulled it out of the truck and moved it around a bunch. Okay, but I think our spot is pretty good. Might need to do a little bit of bending here, but that is mating up pretty good to where we're going. Yeah, threading in perfectly. That's great. So we'll just thread this to just dry fit it for now. I do need a wrench. Where did the wrench go? Hey, helper 2, grab me the wrench. Why don't you show them? We've got helper 1 over here and helper 2. So we don't use any names on the video for kiddos. Alright, so I'm just going to snug this up. I'm mainly just making sure that the fitting that we had, we're going to have to get a different wrench. That's alright. We'll do that in a minute. Right now, I think it's fine. Okay, let's go to the front and get the front snugged. I like the way that run. Can you see that full loop there? Can you see that full loop?
I think.
Here, give me the camera real quick. Alright, so you can see right here, it runs right here through all these little mounting points, which I'm really glad that we got those in place. And then the factory one tucked way up in that corner and did like a little 90 and then a 90 and then a 90 and a 90 to get back down here. That's where it was leaking. It actually leaked right up in that joint. And it wasn't quite that fancy with it. This stuff's hand bendable. So we just kind of ran it up and around in one big loop. That's probably good enough. Alright, so we're going to scoot over to the front and we're going to hook up the front. We'll do that kind of live. So why don't you slide out and I'll slide to the front really quick. And we'll just walk along the line here. You can see we bent it pretty good to follow the curvature here. It's not perfect, like right there. It's a little bit of a soft bend versus that nice hard bend. We could tighten that up a little bit if we wanted to, but I think what I'll do here is just pull it out a little bit. So they're not hitting each other. Won't be squeaking. But this thing has so many squeaks that's not our concern. So it snaps into all the joints here. I'm going to go up over the frame rail here so you can see it. We even went behind the fuel filter here. The fuel filter housing actually has that little plastic housing has a little clamp behind it that holds. I don't think you can see that. Hey, can you guys hand me the flashlight, please? So it holds all those lines get held in place with the back of that fuel pump holder. So we went behind that. That I may bend that a little bit better. It's touching a bunch there, and I'd rather not be touching. Let's get some light in here so you can see. So it's actually touching up under there. I don't love that, so we're gonna probably clean that up, but we'll do that after we get it connected right here. So that's the fitting coming down from above. I left it a little short actually because we've got some play on this side and I want to pull it tight. So we'll get the flashlight in place here. Maybe have a camera person slide to my left, so over there. And see if you can you hold it there and see what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. So, hey, can you get me, hey, helper 2, can you get me I need a wrench to fit that size. See if there's one over there. It's feeling like it's got a lot of tension on it. I don't know why. Where's that tension at? It feels a little better. Is it up off that guy now? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Did you find one there? All right, well, maybe we can, all right, go ahead and, oh, he went away. All right, so you can see those fit together really good there. Now, unfortunately, we're right on the clamp that holds those together, but my goal was to get far enough this side of it. Can you see that clear spot on the pipe there? Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my goal is to get this pulled that way far enough that it'll sit, that clamp will be able to go on. So I think I may just hold this here and just kind of pull, and that'll stretch that out a little bit. Or not stretch it, but it'll bend it in a way that allows it to come a little bit further, and then I think we can push this one back, and there we go. I think that's that. So let's do one more thing here. Something is, it's actually snapping on the other side of something. Oh, what is going on? Let me just, okay, that's in place there now. Yeah, so it's really this one here is really funky. It's gotten kind of twisted. This pipe is so great. It's so easy to bend. You got one? All right, hand me. Oh, okay, great. John, sorry. You know the fittings that go into those? The ones that we've been putting on the pipe?
Yeah.
Go find one of those fittings and find a wrench to go on one of the fittings, okay? Mm-hmm. Just the size of the fitting. Not this one, but the one that goes into these, the fittings we've been putting on them. There's more of those fittings on the workbench. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little bit of bending here to get this a little bit smoother. It's like kind of binding. I don't really love that. I want it to just sit completely free of all these other pipes. And again, I'll say it again, it's so cool how these can be bent by hand.